Hello everyone and welcome to my top 10 fall fragrances of 2012. Now this video is going to be very similar to my other top 10 videos, but there are going to be a couple of changes. So as I come to those changes, I'll go ahead and let you know about them. So before we actually begin, as customary what I usually do with my top 10s, is I want to go over a couple quick points. The first point to note is that this is my top 10. This is not a magazine's top 10, this is not a top 10 compilation, this is not a top 10 average. I plan on doing a top 10 average video for YouTube reviewers that will actually be released pretty shortly. I'm actually doing the calculations and math for it, but that is not what this video is. This is a video of my personal picks that I'll be wearing for this fall. That out of the way, the second thing to note is what do I actually consider fall? Now, I always bring this up because people watch this video from many different areas across the United States, different areas across the world, and people's interpretation of fall might be exactly different. I personally come from New York. My representation of fall is anywhere between, usually when I look at it now, around 40 degrees and like 75 degrees, maybe 80 degrees at its hottest, but that generally is what I consider fall. It starts off a little bit on the warmer side. Right now it's the 60s, it's officially fall, and it's starting to gradually fall in temperature. Sorry, not fall isn't the season, but the temperature starting to gradually decrease. So that's kind of what I consider fall. Leaves are falling, transition, it's starting to get a little bit gloomier, bleaker, but this happens to also be my favorite season that I love. Now, as far as the third point, what am I looking for in fall fragrances? I generally tend to look for spicy fragrances, sweeter fragrances, fragrances that have a little bit more kick or power to them, just because you never know if the day starts off a little bit warmer, it might get a little bit colder during the day, and it generally is starting to get a little bit colder, so I tend to want my fragrance to have a little bit more of a body towards them. Alright, so with that, let's just go ahead and dive right into the top 10. For the very first honorable mention, I have some honorable mentions, and there are 3 from these honorable mentions that I consider fall in a bottle, or the quintessential fall fragrances, and I didn't want to throw them in my normal top 10 just because these are 3 that I generally go after all the time, and the 4th is something that I wear year round. But starting off with the very first one that I wear year round, that is none other than Creed's Aventus, and this does excellent for fall as well. It's a fragrance that is based on, it kind of has crisp apple, crisp pineapple, and packs a punch. It has a little bit of a smoky overtone with a vanilla undertone, so it's something that does well in all types of weather. When I wear this fragrance, I generally tend to wear it when I know that I have to be out for over like 16 hours or something like that. So this fragrance, because it lasts such a long time and it's deceptively strong on that, I tend to go towards this fragrance. I'll wear this fragrance pretty much with almost any get-up that I can really imagine. I can go casual with this fragrance. I can also go formal with this fragrance. So I can wear a suit and tie with this, as well as just go out in jeans and a t-shirt, and it still does equally well. Creed's Aventus for the first honorable mention. For the second honorable mention, and this is one of the first 3, or one of the 3 that is I consider fall in a bottle, and that is Burberry's London. Now, Burberry London, it's spicy, it's boozy, it reminds me of Wet Leaves almost. It has almost like a cinnamon and a leather vibe thing going on, and it has a little bit of pepper. The one thing I should note about this fragrance is that it's a little bit of a close scent, so it's not something that's going to wildly jump out and project. So when I wear this, I usually wear it in casual situations. I don't really wear it in formal situations, so jeans, t-shirt, maybe slacks. I'll wear it going out to the supermarket. I'll wear it generally when I don't want to stand out, but at the same time I still want to smell good, and wear it more for me for that matter. So definitely Burberry London, excellent honorable mention. Coming in for another honorable mention, we have Boss Bottled. I find myself reaching for this very, very frequently. It's another type of scent that has a little bit of an apple type of a vibe to it. It has kind of like a spicy citrus with vanilla over wood that kind of dries down, and it smells very similar to some other fragrances that you might see later on in this list. Boss Bottle is, again, one that I generally reach for when I have nothing else that I can really think of to go for. So it's definitely a nice fragrance that you can especially wear casually. I do wear this one to work as well. I wear it with slacks. I'll generally wear it with a nice little dress shirt as well too. Something that does very, very well for it. So Boss Bottle coming in at another honorable mention. And for the final honorable mention, we have Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme. That's this fragrance right here. This fragrance has been a staple in my collection for a while now. This is another fragrance that, when I can't really think of anything, more of a casual wear for me, I'll generally put it on and wear it. It's something that I thoroughly enjoy. It has a soapy, spicy scent. I call it the soapy scent that was not. It reminds me of soap, but at the same time, it's not really a soapy scent. It is very subtle. It's very sweet. It has spices in it, and it has this lavender that kind of adds this really unique twist to the scent. So Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme, very solid scent. Of those three scents, you really can't go wrong if you're looking for something to wear as a staple in the fall. Now, on to the actual top 10 list. For the very first fragrance that we have for number 10, we have New Haarlem by Bond Number 9. Bond Number 9's New Haarlem, this has moved down in my list quite a bit. The reason why it's moved down is just because it's starting to become a little bit just too sweet for me. But basically what you're going to get out of this scent is a coffee scent. It's very sweet, very maple syrupy, very, I would say, it has a little bit of a woody kind of an undertone to it. And at the same time, it has a little bit of a fresh kind of kick or pep to the actual scent. Vanilla, syrup, coffee, very nice, very nice. There are two other fragrances that I wanted to mention along with this, and these go along with top 10. If you can't afford New Haarlem, because this is a little bit on the expensive side, there are two fragrances that smell very, very similar to it that you really can't go wrong with at all either. And that is, first one we have Rochas Man, and this scent very similar to New Haarlem. I personally find this a little bit smoother than New Haarlem, but at the same time, New Haarlem definitely does have a little bit more quality to it. And for those of you who even want to go even cheaper for it, can't go wrong with Michael Jordan's Legend, which is also quite right up there in terms of actual scent for this actual fragrance. It smells very similar to these two. If I actually go out wearing or smell these on people, I basically would have a hard time figuring out who smells like what. Now, when I actually wear these fragrances are times where I definitely don't wear them to work really anymore. I wear them purely either going out for the night. I wear them going to a club or going to a bar type situation. Those are usually when I wear them. I usually wear it kind of dressed up a little bit. Sometimes I even wear it, to be honest, when I'm playing sports or playing football or doing something like that. That's kind of where I wear this. You can pretty much wear this on those scenarios. Now, coming in at number 9, we have a Tom Ford fragrance, and that is Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. This fragrance is a recent acquisition that I actually just got, and it's kind of surprising, I guess, that it's actually up here, but I have thoroughly enjoyed it, and I have actually started wearing this a little bit more than I should have. I've actually worn it to work because I was busy doing it in my testing phase. Basically, what you're going to get out of this is a very nice Rose Oud vanilla scent. For those of you who have smelled by Kilian's Rose Oud, this feels like a tamer version of that. It's nowhere near as aggressive as that, but it smells very, very similar. It has kind of a dark chocolate vibe-ish to it, very seductive, and it kind of has this weird undertone of patchouli. Patchouli's there for the entire fragrance, but it is still kind of undertone-ish. So very seductive, very nice, a little bit on the pricey side. I tend to wear this one going out at night or going to work. When I wear it to work, I really be careful on the sprays, and I'm only putting on 1-2 maximum sprays. So Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. Now, coming in at number 8, we have the very first Kilian addition to, I think, any of my top 10s, and that is Kilian's Cruel Intentions. Cruel Intentions is a fragrance that, to me, What I got for my nose was quite simply completely different from what I saw in the notes. When I saw it or smelled this fragrance first off, I got really a creamy, sweet fragrance. I never would have guessed that this was heavily woody fragrance, which it is. What you're going to get from this is a very mixed rose and vetiver type of a scent that really produces a unique, creamy, sweet type of a scent that comes from this fragrance. You're going to get a heart of oud that comes into this fragrance, and you're also going to get a smell that smells very similar to almost a paper quality type of a fragrance. It's a very hard to describe. There's papyrus in this, and that I believe is what's giving it this vibe to it. So, Cruel Intentions, very, very nice. I personally wear this going out at night. I sometimes wear this casually going out during the day, and I tend to dress up when I wear Cruel Intentions, so I'll wear something akin to, maybe either a nice pair of jeans and a nice dress shirt to go along with it, maybe a vest on top of it. That's generally what I'll wear when I wear Cruel Intentions. Going with number 7, 24 Gold. Yes, this fragrance is getting quite a little bit of hype in the community, and I love this fragrance at all. It was introduced by another reviewer, Masters of Style, and to be perfectly honest, I was expecting nothing when I got this fragrance, and it has turned out to be gold, 24 Gold. This fragrance, you're going to get a very heavy dose of amber, a very heavy dose of sweetness and vanilla in it, but it's not candy type of a sweet. It's still very sweet, almost an amber type of a sweetness. The closest fragrance that this really reminds me of is Tom Ford's Amber Absolute, which I also have, but I honestly think this one is better than Amber Absolute. Now, I get another comparison that I have for this is if you can think of a hazel latte fragrance, that's pretty much what I get for this. So yes, number 7, we've got 24 Gold. Now, one more thing that I forgot to actually mention for that when I actually wear it. This fragrance is a fragrance that actually you can find me wearing to work, even though it's a little bit on the sweeter side, and I tend to try and avoid that for it. This fragrance the amber brings out a unique quality that I think you can really get away with working at work. So, that being said, I do wear this when I'm a little bit more dressed down going to work. So, jeans, nice shoes, dress shirt, that's generally when I'll wear this one. Coming in at number 6, we have the Pure Brothers, Pure Malt and Pure Havane. Here are the 2 bottles. The reason why I stuck these 2 together is I view them along the very same scent line that I do with the other fragrances, with each other. So what you get from Pure Malt is a whiskey, cherry, vanilla, chocolatey, cocoa undertone smell. Whereas with this one, you get a tobacco, vanilla, cherry type of an undertone with it. So they're both, to me, very similar. I like them equally as well, and I really can't distinguish between the 2 in terms of ranking that one higher than the other. Generally, yeah, they both kind of serve the same purpose for me. They're both fragrances that I really go to town on and wear pretty much anywhere that I want. So I'll wear this to work, I'll wear this out casually, I'll wear this going to dinner, I'll wear this, you name it. Generally, I will try and wear this anytime. I can think of about 8 hours that I need of longevity, 8 to 10 hours, or a little bit longer, then I'll go for these ones. Casual is king with this, but it can work for work as well. Pure Havane and Pure Malt. Coming in at number 5, we have 2 YSL fragrances, and they are none other than La Nuit and Laurent. Now, both of these fragrances I have on the list for a very specific reason. Although they're both not the same fragrance, definitely not by far. This one is more of a cinnamon, apple, a very soft, a very subtle type of a scent that you can really get away with at work. You can really get away with wearing it casually. You could go to work, wear it with a suit. It's just absolutely fantastic on this. Whereas this little bugger, I'll go ahead and wear at night, basically. So going out, dinner, or at nighttime. Basically, once this is actually worn off, then I'll switch to this one at night. I believe they actually work very well in tandem, just like that. So that's why they're both on the same level. That's why they're both where they are. So coming in number 5, La Nuit de l'Homme and L'Homme. Coming in at number 4, we have Dior, from the house of Dior, Dior Homme and Dior Homme Intense. So from the same exact premise that I have for the YSL fragrances, I have these two fragrances right here. You can get away with this one more during the day, and you can get away with this one more during the night. This one is arguably one of my favorite scents to wear when it gets colder out, when I'm going, out to for a night out. This is arguably one of my favorite scents to actually do it for it. It's just a fantastic scent that works absolutely terrific for this. The cocoa and the iris in this scent are a little bit more toned down. Somebody gave a very good analogy. It was, I think it's Empathy Boy, who I saw on Fragrantic, had an excellent quote that said it reminded him of the scent when you take a yellowed out book and you open it and you smell the pages in between. That this reminded them of that, and I couldn't agree with him any more so than that. It does remind me of that. It's a very nice undertoned fragrance almost that has lavender, iris, and cocoa in it, whereas the extreme version, or the intense version, has the iris amped up, and it is an iris party. Basically, it is a lipstick party. It smells a little bit like lipstick, but it gets the job done. So yes, Dior Homme, Dior Homme Intense. Coming in at number 3, we have Frapin 1270. Here's the fragrance bottle. This is one of my absolute go-to fragrances for a casual occasion. I tend to wear this one generally if I'm going out during the day. So I'll wear this, jeans, t-shirt. Works really well with a leather jacket. It's a little bit on the pricier side for it. So if those of you who can't afford this or don't want to plug down $120+ for this one, go ahead and pick up Dolce & Gabbana The One, which is very similar to it. They're not the same scent, but I often pair them together just because they remind me just so similar of each other, even though they're definitely not the same scent. So Dolce & Gabbana The One and and Frapin 1270 both suit those same purposes. Great fragrances. This one has a little bit more of a spicy plum, dried fruits type of a vibe with a little bit of a boozy undertone. And Dolce & Gabbana The One kind of has a same undertone, but missing the plums. It has a little bit of a dried fruit vibe type with it. These actually go excellent with leather jackets. I don't know why I've associated with them, but leather jackets, very cool, casual look. That's generally what I go for with this. The knock on these two, the longevity is not so great on this. So if you're looking for something that's going to last you all day, don't look in these two directions. These are something that you want to wear for a quick 5-6 hours, maybe tops for these. All right. Coming in at number 2, we have a Creed, and that is Creed's Royal Oud. Here's the bottle. Creed's Royal Oud. This fragrance I fell in love with last year, and the love is still continuing to grow for this fragrance. It has it's a very fresh oud. It's a very smooth oud. This is the oud for people who don't like oud, as strange as it sounds. It comes off very elegant. It comes off very classy. This is something that I wear if I, have a board meeting, or if I have, a very important meeting that I know I've got to impress. This is something that I'll spray lightly on and make sure that I have on me. This is something that actually lasts a little bit longer than most Creed fragrances actually last. It's something that you could actually get away from. This is something that I save for those special occasions, for those special, whether it be nights out, but generally I tend to stick for this more in professional settings, to be perfectly honest. All right, so Creed's Royal Oud, definitely great fragrance. It's light and assertive at the same time. Best impression, Creed's Royal Oud. And for my number 1 fragrance, we have a fragrance that still I absolutely love for fall, and it is none other than Guerlain's Spiritueuse Double Vanille. Expensive fragrance, a little bit over 200, but still it's a fragrance that I absolutely love. It's very creamy, vanilla, boozy, has a little bit of a benzoate, very sweet. It has a very just sensual and seductive scent. Even now, just smelling the whiff off, even when I just took the faux cap off, it's just absolutely fantastic. It's by far my favorite. I will wear this in any occasion that I absolutely feel like it. I will wear this to work if I feel like it. I will wear this going out. I'll wear this as a casual date scent. I'll wear this, you name it, I'll wear it, basically. It's a scent that I just absolutely love. Does it do absolutely fantastic in each scenario? Maybe not, but this happens to be my favorite fall scent. So that's why I just go nuts with it. So, yes, coming in number 1, Guerlain Spiritueuse Double Vanille. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free. Send me a message, do whatever you gotta do. Thank you, take care of yourselves, have a great day, and look out for the top, I think it's probably going to be 2 out of 20, top 20 YouTube reviewer compilation list for last year's. All right, take care of yourselves.